doing it in an octagon. And Rick Lee, he will tell you already in Edmonton.
Do something different, you add things to your game, but tonight was just mind-blowing, that move that you made. I heard you saying that you had worked on that in the gym. Was there something specifically that you saw that led you to think that was something to work on, or was it just a move you wanted to have in your arsenal?
Well, two things. So it's funny. I never, you see a lot of people out there, they're doing their training videos, their vlogs and stuff. I don't, show any of my training. I just don't do it. It's none of your guys' business what I'm doing in the gym. But we do have an embedded crew coming out there, and I'll let them film my warm-up, and they're like, dude, you need to let us, film your sparring, because the stuff that you're doing in sparring, you're actually doing in an octagon. And Rick Lee, he'll tell you already in Edmonton, I threw, I was practicing throwing people up. I do it all the time in the gym. I was in the octagon fighting Ray Borg. He's very tough dude. His game is scrambling. That's what he likes to do. And when he was like, oh, I'm out scrambling with DJ, I'm gonna get on top of him. And even when he took me down, I was like, okay, you took me down. Are you gonna pass guard? No. And I elevated him, and I got back up, and I was like, okay, you took me down. That was the best opportunity you had. And then when I had his back, he was very planted. His weight was planted. And Matt, a couple weeks ago, he was saying when somebody's planted, you have to shift their weight. Shift their weight, and when they shift their weight, they're light. So when I had him, I was kneeing him. I was going to try to kick him in the face, but I knew he was looking for that to try to take me down. So I kneed him, and then I shook his weight. I shifted his weight, and then when he shifted, he went back through an elbow, and I was like, got you. And that's when I threw him up, and then landed an armbar. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Mighty Mouse right here. Hey, congratulations, champ.
Thank you.
That was incredible to witness. But you lied to me at Media Day. You said you like to play Street Fighter because you can't do those moves in real life. And clearly you were bluffing. What are we going to call that?
I don't know. Mighty Armbar? I don't know.
I was going to say the Mighty Bar, but John Morgan has a good one back there. I'll let him, I don't want to steal his thunder. I'll let him say it. Your pace seemed to increase as the fight went on. At what point did you realize that you were running away with this? Because, once your pace increased, you were basically putting on a clinic.
Yeah, there was a long time ago I think it was Pride. Pro Cop, it was his birthday, and he was in the World Grand Prix Championship. And he had that look on his face that nobody's going to take that championship away from him. That's kind of how I felt today. Like, I felt like nobody's going to take this away from me. The weight cut went easy. All my training sessions went easy. I ate as much as I kind of wanted this week. So everything just felt good. And when I got in there, there's something like when I fight guys who are my size, who are 5'3", 5'5", it's easy to just fight, I guess you can say. But you never know that you're going to win the fight until, the referee pulls you off.
I got a lot of footage of you during the open workouts. I witnessed it firsthand, and then, of course, tonight we saw what you did in there. I just can't wrap my head around some of the things that you do. Can you just drop a little bit of wisdom on those angles? Your angles are just unlike anything anyone else does. It's so far ahead of the game.
Yeah, obviously I'm not in the sport of, taking concussions and taking blows. That Vienna and Bobby Green fight, amazing fight. But when I'm sitting back there, everybody's like, oh, that's a tough fight, it's a tough fight. I'm like, man, I'm really worried about the concussions they're receiving right now. They're just taking concussions and concussions. And I learned my lesson a long time ago when I stood and banged with somebody. Matt goes, you're such an idiot. He goes, that's not your skill set. Your skill set is to be able to move fluidly through the aspect of mixed martial arts. So when I'm in there and I see Ray Borg walking forward, I'm like, okay, he's plotting that front foot. I'm an inside 9. I'm going to pop the jab. Okay, I'm going to move. I'm going to switch to southpaw. I'm going to throw the body kick. And then he wants to catch my kick. So I'll throw it and he'll catch it. And I make sure I just keep it heavy on his head. So I look at my opponent and see what they're good at, and then I try to take it away from them, and then I look for the submission or the finish.
And a caveat to that would be, as the game evolves, a lot of people are moving away from doing a lot of hard sparring. So when you adopted that philosophy that you just spoke of, did you also move away from really intense sparring as well?
No, I still, spar pretty intense. I wear 16-ounce gloves, and then my MMA gloves are about 7 ounces. I have big poopy ones. And at AMC, we're really good about not lighting people up on the face. I'm a type of athlete that I don't need to go extremely hard. I'm like, hit me hard, or I need to hit you hard to make sure I'm fight ready in the octagon. But leg kicks, body shots are 100% at AMC, but headshots, nobody know. Go ahead, Ariel. Go ahead.
Congratulations.
Yes, I'll come on your show Monday.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll give the mic away. No, I just wanted to ask about the finish. Do you feel, as amazing as it was, one of the greatest subs ever, do you feel that if you weren't so close to the cage that you would have subbed him sooner, that the cage almost impeded your fall and allowed him to hang around just a little longer?
Maybe. Right now my left butt cheek is just shot. Literally shot. And I was squeezing. And I remember when I threw him up, I grunted, threw him up, and slammed him. And I remember like shimmy down a little bit, and then squeezing. And he was doing a good job of moving his arm back and forth. And I was trying to get the elbow in place. And then like I squeezed, and he kept on going. I was like, oh my god, like he's not going to give up. And then I had to resituate the arm, the elbow again on the right spot. I kept on squeezing and squeezing and squeezing, and then finally I got the right spot. And I was like, okay, I got it. And then that's when he gave up.
Did it bother you at all that you were the co-main event?
Oh, no, I'm not. No.
No?
Like I said, I had my opportunity in Edmonton to headline that card. Unfortunately, Ray Borg fell sick. I'm grateful that the UFC were able to reschedule me so quick. I love fighting in Las Vegas. The time zone, the food here is amazing. The weight cut was good. And I actually, when I was up in Edmonton, I had an injury that I was going to fight through. And Matt was like, you know what? Like, you need to get that looked at. And I was like, okay, well, we're gonna fight, and after this fight, I'll get it looked at. Then when it got pushed back for another 4 weeks, I was like, great. Now I have to go back into training camp and to injured and try to not make it worse. And so it worked out perfect. I felt better this week than I did when I was in Edmonton.
What was the injury?
I don't know yet. I have to get an MRI. It's weird. Like, I can move fine, but when I sit back on my knees, like if I try to, lay down on my knees or be on my knees and try to take my butt to my heels, just excruciating pain in my right knee. I don't know what it is. I'm going to get it looked at.
I was going to ask for Fabricio Verdun what he thought of the submission. What do you think of his submission, considering how good you are on the ground?
I think it's very nice submission, but I think 50-50, the performance of the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Congrats, man. Congrats, man.
Thank you. Yeah, 100. Yeah. Any other questions?
Tell us about Fight Week. We saw you driving around. Was Bentley, Rolls-Royce, and then Slingshot. And what can we expect as of moving forward? Is it going to be private jets and Flash? And
I don't make that much money. Let's be honest there, okay? No, man, that was just something that first round management did for me. The was it a Bentley? Yeah, the Bentley was fun, and it's nice, man. Sometimes when you try to go to the open workouts, you do this. You're always on somebody else's time frame. I heard Tony Ferguson was 30 minutes late to the bus. And I was like, dude, I'm not going to wait 30 minutes for you, dude. So I'm glad that I have my own car service to get me to the open workouts. And then the Slingshot was fun. The Mighty Mobile was something fun to experience. I've always wanted the motorcycle, but I've just been too scared to get on it, I feel more comfortable on 3 wheels instead of 2. Any other questions? God bless your souls. I had 8 at the UFC office and I got 3 at home. So.
Verdun, o Francis Ngannou, ele falou pra gente durante uma conversa com a imprensa durante o evento. E ele mencionou que ele chegou a se oferecer para te enfrentar. Isso chegou aos seus ouvidos? Você aceitaria?
Não, não chegou a meus ouvidos nenhuma proposta do Francis, não. Só a do Harry, né? Harry. E eu aceitei imediatamente. A gente teve uma decisão no quarto mesmo ali, que eu estava saindo, vindo para a arena, e a decisão foi muito rápida, né? Eu, o Rafael Cordeiro, meu irmão, o Babalu, todo mundo junto. A gente decidiu que sim, que era muito importante aceitar, mas na verdade a gente fez mais para não deixar o UFC na mão também, né? Para mostrar que a gente é 100% UFC. E era importante para não ter mais uma luta cancelada.
Tá.
Agora traduz em inglês aí.
Não, depois eles falam. Minha última pergunta, ô Fabrício. Você acha que essa luta você chegou a mencionar, pedir uma luta pelo cinturão. Você acha que essa luta te credencia para lutar pelo cinturão? E talvez de repente te interessaria lutar de repente com a Alistair Overeem ou o Francis Ngannou se um deles se machucasse?
Não, a ideia é lutar diretamente pelo cinturão, né? E eu tenho certeza que me credencia por ter aceito essa luta nas 3 últimas horas. Eu tive que trocar meu oponente, né? Foi muito rápido. E pela performance que eu tive, que eu falei isso antes, né? Que estava entre eu, o Overeem e o Francis. E eu mostrei mais uma vez que eu estou com 100% de condições de lutar pelo cinturão de novo. Então acho que eu mostrei dentro do octágono. Eu falei pouco fora do octágono, mas ali dentro eu mostrei com a prática.
Fabrizio, congratulations on your win. You know, before this week, you talked about an impressive performance versus Derek Lewis. You were hoping that if you had an impressive performance against him, it would get you a title shot. Then you get thrust into this situation where you're putting yourself at risk. You're fighting a guy for the first time, last minute notice. Did it ever cross your mind not to take the fight?
Yes, man, it's so hard decision. Imagine 3 hours before, I just have my team in my room. I just come to the arena, and my manager Ali called me and said your fight is cancelled. Imagine everything is good for the coming to the arena, and I'm very sad. In the first time, I'm very sad. But my manager called me again. 2 minutes later, he called me. Verdun, I have one more guy. Maybe I have one more fight for you. Have a Red. How say his name? Red.
Walt Harris. Walt Harris.
Harris. Yeah, Harris. And I say yes. Just a second, Ali. And I just have a decision with my team. This is very hard decision because, you know, imagine you prepare your body, your everything, strategy, everything for one guy, you know, for Derek Lewis for 3 months, and the 3 hours change everything. You know, it's so hard decision, man. And this guy is southpaw yet. This is very good guy. I say thank you for him for the fight, you know, because I know it's hard for him, the fight for me too. But I show again. I'm waiting for the fight, for the title shot, you know. I think my performance is amazing performance, you know. Like a 1 minute to fight, just 1 minute. He don't give me one punch, nothing, zero, you know. Take it down, mount, and take his back and arm bar, you know. It's like I think it's perfect fight.
Francis Ngannou had told the media backstage that he was trying to step in last minute. How would you have felt if
yes, for
Francis
sure.
had stepped up?
Anyone, no problem. Anyone, I say to the guys say Francis, Overeem, Hart, for everyone, I want to fight, man. That's it. I mean, waiting for fight, you know. I just have my bag, I have my bag in my back. Just walk for come to here. I fight, man. Just that's it. I show you today.
A very impressive performance, obviously. But do you think a win over Walt Harris could propel you back the way you were hoping Derek Lewis?
Say again?
Do you really think a win over Walt Harris could propel you back to a shot at Stipe?
Yes, for sure, man. 100%. I told you, man. Depend the performance. I think my performance is very well. It's very good performance, and I think the next one I deserve not just for this fight, not just this fight, you know. I think in my whole career, you know, I trained for 20 years, and I think I deserve again. I got two times the belt. 2 times the interim belt, and after versus Mark Hunt versus Cain Velasquez, I show this, and I show again. I have a 4 years old, but I show again. I know the way, you know. 100% I got it again.
You know, switching topics a little bit. You and Tony obviously had your little dust up last week. but he won the championship tonight. What do you think of Tony Ferguson's performance?
It's very good performance. Congratulations for him. It's very good performance.
I'm sorry, you may have been asked this, but do you think you really can get Miocic next?
What's this again?
Can you get Stipe for your next fight?
Yes, for sure, man. For every who he won, you know, because when Steve Miocic say Verdun give him the opportunity, I give for him. Now his turn, he giving the opportunity for the belt again, you know. I think I'm waiting for him. For every who won. Maybe next week, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting for the New York, for everyone. Just keep going the training. I come back to Los Angeles tomorrow with my family. I just, like a couple of days, I go to vacation. And after that, I start the train again. You know, I wanna fight Steve Miocic, man. This is my big goal.
Did Dana say anything backstage to you about that happening?
No, I don't see Dana yet, man. I don't see it yet. Just I wanna see him when he giving the bonus, you know, after night.
Thank you.
Fabricio, I asked Derek Lewis about what he wants and how he's feeling and everything, and he said he was hopeful that he would fight you in New York. Has that been brought up to you?
Yes, for sure, man. I don't know the UFC decision yet, you know. I told you, my big goal is the belt. The UFC say we're waiting a little bit more, and the fight is Steve Miocic, and maybe in January, February in next year. I'm waiting for the, you know, no problem. I'm waiting. I have more time for training. You know, depend the UFC decision, man. But I told you before, my big goal is the belt. You know, I think I deserve the belt again.
And was that one of the more enjoyable fights of your career? I mean, obviously you've had some massive wins, the title of Fedor, but just to be that smooth on the ground and show off your jiu-jitsu and just have such a quick finish, was that one of the more enjoyable sequences of your career, at least as of late?
This time?
This one, yeah.
This for sure I'm enjoying it, you know. For sure when I win, it's like a one step front, you know. When you lose, everything is bad, you know. I will lose, I'm not here for sure, you know. Nobody want an interview, nobody want a seminar, nobody, nothing, zero. And the victory is very important for me. But the Fedor one is a special one for 100%. Yeah. When I beat Fedor, as the more important fight in my career.
Did you know who Walt Harris was before today? Have you ever heard of him?
Say again?
Walt Harris. Had you ever heard of him prior to today?
Quem é esse cara aí? Huh? No, I saw him when I commented, you know, when I work in UFC Network, I saw him a couple of times, but it's very funny, man, because I just have a strategy when I'm in my way from here to the arena. Me, Rafael, my team, watch his fight, man. And I come with the strategy. Imagine it, you come to the fight and watch his fight, and I make the strategy. Wow. You know, couple 30 minutes, like 40 minutes, and I make the strategy. That's it. You see the strategy. This is the strategy. I just make.
Final thing. Did you say anything to him afterwards? Did you say anything to Walt after the fight?
Yes, for sure. I say thank you for him because even he take this fight too. He's a tough fighter. Even he's very dangerous guy, man. He have a lot of knockouts. When I saw him, it's like a big guy, man. He's a big guy, you know. That's it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, man. No too much question, but when I be a champion, I don't give a question for you.
They tell you to only keep the mic on one side, so try.
Hey Ray, can you put into words kind of what facing Demetrius is like? You hear a lot about him and how great he is. When you were in the cage with him, what is it like in actuality?
You know, he's good. He's where he's at for a reason, and you know, sharing the octagon with him was something I can definitely put in my back pocket to learn from. You know, obviously I wasn't on the receiving end of the win. Things didn't go the way I had planned them to. I got away from my game plan a little bit, but you know, he's very knowledgeable, and that's something that he has that a lot of fighters don't.
How shocked were you by the throw and then the armbar? And can you talk us through, from your standpoint, what you recall of that move?
You know, in the moment, I thought I was on the ground before. I thought he was just gonna throw me. I was gonna get ready to move and scramble. I thought I was on the ground before he hit that armbar. He hit the armbar, I guess, midair. It was sneaky. Like I said earlier, I laughed at him a couple times during the fight just because he pulled off some sneaky shit, and I just thought it was pretty cool myself. But you know, it wasn't cool to be on the receiving end of it. But it is what it is.
Did you feel like you fought well? You said you had, a couple of mistakes, but it seemed to me like, you raised your game a little bit from what you've been before, and that maybe most of the guys in the top 10 or top 5 you would beat tonight except for him.
You know, it was definitely not the performance that I wanted at all. And I don't mean that just because I didn't win. I mean because I didn't implement the things that my coaches wanted me to. I should have gone a different route, and I think if I would have went that route, it would have been a little bit better for me, and it would have, played into my favor. But, I'm 24 years old. What can I say? Fight for a world title against what you guys call the pound-for-pound greatest. So all I'm going to do is just learn.
Right here, Ray. Great fight, buddy. Sorry about the outcome. It's a great fight.
Thank you.
After the open workouts, you told us that you and your coaches had assessed some opportunities that you could exploit in Mighty Mouse's game. Now that the fight is over and done with, and you've been in there with him, can you reveal some of those things that y'all saw?
He is good, and I definitely feel like Demetrius is at the top and where he's at because of his knowledge and his ability to correct things in the fight and mentally. And but we've seen some things on the feet where he doesn't bail very good. He's real chin high. He's been dropped more and more recently, and that's something we were going to try to capitalize on. But I shifted the fight a different direction and didn't stick to the game plan.
And the last question, again, at the open workouts, you displayed a lot of submissions from the back you were working on, and also you displayed some really great kicks, and you didn't really get a chance to implement any of that stuff. Is that what you mean when you say that you didn't work the game plan?
Yeah, my game plan was, to more or less go with the flow, but I definitely felt like I could have outboxed him, outstruck him, and in that department, I should have, just believed in my hands and just let him fly. But, unfortunately, age was not on my side tonight, and I just need to learn more.
Ray, you talk about learning more, and watching the fight, it just seems sometimes like DJ is 2-3 steps ahead, and that's not to say anything bad of your skills, but DJ's obviously on this level where he's stringing things together. Can you just talk about dealing with his transitions and how difficult that was?
I felt like fighting DJ was fighting my future self, in a sense. I mean, if you guys look at all my fights, I'm always 2 steps ahead of people. I'm always 3 steps ahead of people. I'm always being sneaky with, submissions. And I truly felt like I just fought a future version of myself. He's had time in this game. He's had the ability to learn how to control himself in there. And, it was a little bit of shock to me to be out scrambled and, out positioned.
And the last question I want to ask is, as you walked away from the cage, we saw you had tears in your eyes. And obviously in that moment, it was tough dealing with the defeat. But in the time since then, have you sort of just grappled with where you're going to go from here and how you're going to build off of this?
A good buddy told me, like with crying after a loss and crying, they always say, don't cry, keep your head up and things like that. And, everybody made memes and, talk shit about Daniel Cormier when he was crying on public television. But what you guys don't realize is what we go through to get to this point, what we sacrifice to get to this point. And when you want it so bad and you don't get it, it's heartbreaking, My buddy told me that if you don't cry after a loss, then you didn't want it as much as what you thought. So, I just wanted it. I really did. And it just wasn't my night. It's not my time. Since then, the only thing I can tell myself is that I'm 24. I mean, look at DJ when he had his first crack at the title. Dominic beat him in devastating fashion. Well, not devastating, but dominated him. He lost his first crack at a title. I'm 24, and I'm just gonna keep working, and I'm gonna get back there.
Ray, have you ever seen that kind of submission? Has anyone ever tried that on you before?
No, I don't even think it was really a submission. I think it's just, sometimes you can just make shit up. He just happened to suplex or, throw me, and then my arm was straight, trying to brace myself, and he just saw an armbar.
Did you think for a second that you'd be able to get out?
I really did. I thought I was about to scramble out of it. He had good control of it. He was moving it real well. I felt like I was seconds from getting out of it and scrambling, and then I turned one way when I should have turned the other, and got stuck.
Now that you've actually fought him, was he better than you thought he would be?
Yeah, well, I mean, we always knew he was good, but it's one thing to be in there with him and just watching him. I've fucking watched Demetrius Johnson since I was like 13 years old. I mean, I know what he's capable of, and I know how good he is, but sometimes in the sport, just trying to skip steps, and we try to skip some steps tonight, and now we just gotta work our way back and keep moving forward.
Are you gonna stay at 125?
Yeah, why not? I mean, for anybody, all the UFC staff, I was there at 6:45 ready to weigh in at 124, just to show you guys that weight's not an issue. So yeah, I'm staying at 125.
Thank you.
Hey, Kevin. First of all, can you assess your emotions after the fight? I know you had built yourself up to such a peak, and then to have it end the way it did, like how much does that hurt you?
Yeah, I'm devastated. I mean, I feel like I worked my ass off for this fight. I stepped up when no one else would, and I took a big risk tonight, and just didn't go my way. But I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna come back stronger.
How much did How much did the struggle to make the weight affect you in the cage tonight?
Yeah, I feel like that was a huge factor. The staph infection really didn't help. I've been fighting it for about a week now, and it didn't make the weight cut no easier. So, like I said, I'm sitting here now about 185 pounds, a little too big for the weight class now. I've been fighting at this weight class since I started MMA at 17, so it's about time for me to go up. I'm, getting stronger and bigger. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe that played a factor, but regardless, Tony Ferguson was the better fighter tonight. I said it before. I thought he was the toughest fight in this division. I tried to step up, and what can I do?
And when you got out of the arm bar there, did you feel like you had a chance to break free of him a second, or did how quickly he got that triangle on you? But did you feel like you ever had a chance to escape after you got out of the arm bar?
Yeah, the arm bar wasn't the problem. I kind of underestimated his bottom work. It was the elbows more than anything. I mean, look at my face. It's not from the So I underestimated his work from the bottom. He did a great job, and once the triangle was on, it was
right here, Motown. The worst thing that a fighter can experience on the day of weigh-ins is to step on the scale, to be told that you have to come back and lose a pound. We waited around, to see what was going to happen in that next hour. What did happen behind the scenes? How did y'all get that other pound off?
I mean, the weight cut was what it was. I wasn't gonna let down the whole show, let down everybody. I was gonna make the weight, even if I had to cut my foot off or something. I said it before. It damn near killed me, and I just had to do what I had to do. I got a job to do. I'm a professional. I'm gonna come out here, no matter how bad it hurts, no matter what. I'm gonna go out there, and I feel like I put my best performance on tonight. By the third round, it just was too much for me.
Well, I think now is a great time to speak about it, and everybody agrees. Every fighter I've ever spoken to agrees, and I've heard you talk about it many times. A 165-pound division is needed, but that's another conversation. My last question: at the end of round one, you seemed pretty close to stopping it. Did you feel as though, did your killer instinct kick in? Did you feel as though you had to win, or did you maybe get overzealous, you think?
A little bit, but with Tony, he's a dog. I said it before the fight. He's definitely been the toughest fight in this division. He's a rightful champion. I tried to make it a dog fight with him. I tried to let him know it's going to be a fight. At the end of the first, you got to put that man out. There's no quitting him. He kept coming forward, and he kept the pressure, and he did what a champion is supposed to do. And I wish him nothing but the best. It might have been a lot of back and forth before, but we come from the same alma mater. I know how tough Tony Ferguson is, and he's the best man in the world.
Anyone else?
Kevin, did the staph infection come up at all, or did the doctor, no one ever, commission, did they have no idea about it?
I tried my best to hide it. I wasn't, it was a big event. A lot has been happening with the UFC these last couple events, and I wasn't going to let nobody down. I worked my whole life for this. It was like a culmination of things, but I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm still going to be a world champion. Might not happen when I'm 25, but...
And just to confirm, your next fight will be at 170. Is that what you're planning on, at least as of right now?
I don't know. I've taken a lot of fights this last year, so I don't know. I need some time. I'll probably go home.
Thanks, Kevin.
So, Kevin, with all respect, staph infection or not, do you feel like you lost a little bit of that fight on the scales? That 155 is just not a good look anymore?
You can say what you want, but Tony Ferguson was a better man tonight. Like I said, I underestimated his bottom work and that pace, the pressure. What can I say? He was a better man, and he caught me. He caught me with the elbows from the bottom, and then he caught me with the triangle.
So like other guys, like Cerrone moving up from 155, like Dos Anjos, we might see you at 170 2018?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely time for a 165-pound weight class. There's so many guys at 155 and so many guys at 170. I feel like they can really do 165 and 175. As you can see, I'm about 10 pounds bigger than Tony Ferguson anyway, just naturally. I think it's definitely a time for a 165-pound weight class, and that's what I'm going to push for. But right now, I just need some time. I've taken 4 fights in these last 12 months, so it's about time.
Okay, I got the blue.
So, what did you think of the game the other night? They won again tonight. I mean, you live in Vegas. I'm into it. I'm into it. Even though somebody asked me. Just like joking around. Some guy goes, "What kind of an asshole are you? They're just trying to have fun." I'm like, dude, like right over your head.